Welcome back to FRC Recap for week number 2 of the Crescendo Season 32 events that we are going to recap. We have correspondents from all around the world that are providing their recaps and their insight into what went down in these events, focusing on some very specific matches of each of these events as well, too. Shout out to everybody that I got to meet in the First Mid-Atlantic region this past weekend. It was great to see so many of you. But without further ado, let's jump in and find out which events took place, who the winners are, and break down some key matches here on FRC Recap. This video on fun is brought to you by viewers like you and also in partnership with the following. AndyMark is your one-stop shop for all your robotics competition needs. Celebrating 20 years of quality robotics parts and superior service, AndyMark employees have over 200 years of first-team experience. From mechanical and electrical products to tools and hardware, head on over to andymark.com for high-quality and affordable solutions. Support Fun's content creators when you sign up for a membership on YouTube Join. You'll get access to special perks like emotes, loyalty badges, and Fun members will even get early access to our scheduled videos and more. 100% of this revenue will go back to our correspondents to help recognize their efforts. Click the Join button in any YouTube video to pledge your support.
Let's take a look at the Hudson Valley Regional held in Suffern, New York. With a total of 48 teams at the event, we've got mostly New York teams, one Ohio team, a team from England, and a team all the way from Istanbul. There are a few newer teams joining us, but also some veterans, like Team 20, the Rocketeers, Team 48, Team Elite, Team 1796, the Robotigers, and 2791, Shaker Robotics. Jumping into qualification match number 52, we've got Team 810, Mechanical Bulls, Team 48, Team Elite, Team 2791, Shaker Robotics on red. For blue, we have 3624 Thunder Colts, Team 5736 Kingsman Robotics, and Team 9016 Scioset Supersonics. Both alliances put notes into the speaker during auto, and coming out of auto, the score is 26-14, favoring the Blue Alliance. Moving into teleop, both alliances traverse the field in order to acquire and score more notes for their respective alliances, and Blue still has the lead with 1 minute and 45 seconds left in match play. With about a minute left, the Red Alliance picks things up and with some fast and precise cycles, allows them to take the lead. As the match approaches endgame, the score is 61-44, with Red in the lead. The match ends with 2 robots up on the stage for Red and 1 for Blue. The match ends with a final score of 47-76. Looking at Finals 1, for Red we have Team 3950 RoboGym Robotics, Team 6911 the Sobots, and Team 287 Floyd Robotics. For the Blue Alliance we have Team 353 Pobots, 1796 the Robotigers, and Team 354 the G-House Pirates. Straight out of the gate in auto, the Blue Alliance springs to life, trying to score as many notes as they can, but unfortunately, they miss a few. Despite this, Red takes a quick lead as the match transitions into teleop. 15 seconds into teleop, the Blue Alliance amplifies and takes the lead. After that, Blue continues to pull away with a score of 42-18 with 90 seconds left in the match. The match ends with a final score of 68-55 as Red got their act together towards the end and put a fair amount of points on the board. The Blue Alliance goes on to win Finals 2 and the event with a score of 64-40 in that last match. For awards, Team 7738 Tectolia Robotics won the Regional Impact Award, and Team 1797 Phoenix won the Regional Engineering Inspiration Award. This was an awesome event to watch, and as many teams attend their second or third events, I can't wait to see how the gameplay evolves and the strategies change as the season goes on.
Good evening, folks. It's Crescendo Week 2 in New England, and I'm here with 2 events to recap for you this week. Starting at Bridgewater State University in Massachusetts for the BSU District event. CMAS had a new name and a new location this year, but there were a lot of familiar faces amongst the paddock of 36 teams from across New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Connecticut, all competing for those ever so valuable district points. Some notable contenders here included 125 Neutrons making their 2024 debut after being finalists on Einstein last April, and 78 Airstrike fresh off their Week 0 event win at Bedford, New Hampshire 2 weeks ago. Both of these teams would sail through the qualification rounds, finishing ranked second and first, respectively. And to almost no one's surprise, they would choose to partner up with each other on the number 1 seed in playoffs. The real question on everyone's mind was which team was going to raise themselves out of the midfield to challenge them in the finals. In this quest to identify that diamond in the rough, that David to their Goliath, let's go to qualification match 65. Coming into this match, Robotics predicts an easy 65-42 victory for the Blue Alliance, led by future number 2 seed partners 88 TJ Squared and 5962 Persevere. But this match was nothing like what was predicted, and the Red Alliance, led by 1153 Timberwolves, would go on to almost completely flip the Robotics prediction on its head, winning 63-46. 1153 would go on to captain the number 5 seed Alliance, picking 2877 and 2079 to join them on their trip through the double elimination bracket. They would go on to take their first playoff match before following in their second match to the number 1 seed and taking a trip to the losers bracket. In the losers bracket, the number 5 seeded Alliance was able to show us that an overwhelming number of notes in the speaker can overcome any amplification bonus and turn the tide in a match. The 5th seed Alliance would pull off a strong push through 3 matches to go back to the final match to force a rematch with number 1. But not every Cinderella story can come true, and they would go on to be hammered by the number 1 seed in the best of 3 final, 78-55 and 98-80. Congrats to event winners 78 Airstrike, 125 Neutrons, and 6731 Record Robotics. 125 would end up walking out of BSU with 2 blue banners and punching their ticket to Springfield after securing First Impact Award to make it a double gold weekend for them. 2877 Ligerbots would take home the silver with Engineering Inspiration, and your rookie all-star would be 9644 NEIA Robotics. Moving on from Bridgewater State University to Wilby High School in Waterbury, Connecticut, let's take a look at the Waterbury District event. Teams from Connecticut and Massachusetts met on Saturday and Sunday for a battle of grease, gears, and glory. This event primarily consisted of Connecticut teams, and you know how Connecticut loves their 3-digit powerhouses, including reigning New England champions 176 Aces High, a team that's no stranger to the Einstein Field 195 Cyber Knights, and finally 230 Galehawks rounded out the 3-digit triumvirate at this event. The first match of note to take a look at is going to be qualification match 28. Where Team 6346 Cybears would draw a yellow card after they lost control momentarily and crashed into the field, shattering the polycarb field wall. After 30 minutes of work by the talented field volunteers, the field was back up and running. But this just goes to reinforce the point that First made in Team Update 16 last week. The referees are going to be strictly enforcing G415. Drive teams should keep this in note when they're planning their robot-to-field interactions. The second match I want to take a look at was one that had deep playoff impacts. Qualification match 48 would see a Blue Alliance of 176, 195, and 230 altogether. Their Autonomous gets off to an okay start. 195 puts 2 notes in the speaker, but 176 and 230 seem to trip over each other a little bit, with 230 missing all 3 of their notes, and 176 only scoring 3 of the 5 notes they were able to put up in the air before the clock ran out on Autonomous and we moved into teleop. The Blue Alliance is clearly the dominant alliance here, with 176 and 230 trading off across the field, working to take advantage of those amplification periods with a mixture of notes in the amp and speaker, while 195 would tend to stick to their side of the field, trying to pick up stray notes off the field and clean up the missed shots by the other 2. Eventually, 195 would make a run on the loading station, but they ended up dying in the loading station and blocking 230 and 195's access to more game pieces. Despite these setbacks, the Blue Alliance would go on to win the match 90-45 after scoring a combined 19 notes in teleop. Not only would that match help to solidify 176 and 195 spots in the rankings, finishing 1 and 3 respectively, but it clearly showed 176 a pathway to victory with 230, who finished ranked 13, but still managed to be picked from off the carpet by 176 as the first overall pick of the Alliance selection draft. They would go on to select a tall and reliable defensive partner in Team 839 Rosie to round out the number 1 seeded Alliance. The number 1 seed looks stacked on paper with a Statbotics EPA of 79, a full 17-point advantage over any of the other alliances in the field. But the midfield showed its strength, with Alliance 2 through 5 all having an EPA within 4 points of one another. Now, We've already seen how dominant this 176-230 pairing can be back in Qual 48. So let's go to playoff match 7, where the dynamic duo and their alliance partner would end up actually losing 66-61. The match is off to a strong start, with Red outscoring Blue by a factor of 2 in autonomous. But Blue is able to significantly even out the score during teleop. 230 is doing okay shuttling notes across the field into the amp, and Rosie is doing their job on defense, staying out of the way of their partners, but doing everything they can to slow down the cycle time of the Blue Alliance. But something is clearly wrong with 176. A vision tracking issue that had plagued them earlier in the weekend comes to rear its ugly head and leaves 176 shooting wildly, missing the speaker for the majority of the match. 176 would only manage to put up half the notes they had typically been putting up in the speaker, and would lose the match. All was not lost, however, and they would bounce back from their trip to the losers bracket, taking out the number 5 and number 2 seeded alliances to earn a spot in the finals. They would take the final best-of series in 3 matches, where after losing the first final match by 3 points, they would go on to win the next 2 matches by over 40 points in Finals 2 and over 35 points in Finals match number 3. Congrats to our event winners, 176 Aces High, 230 Galehawks, and 839 Rosie. They weren't the only ones taking home hardware this weekend, as 195 the Cyber Knights would punch their ticket to Springfield and pick up a first Impact Award. Team Force 3461 Operation Peace Robotics would take the silver medal with engineering inspiration, and 9710 would Discovery Polybots would be your event Rookie All-Stars. That's all from me this week, but I'll be back in 2 weeks to recap some FMA events from Week 4. I'll catch you all then.
Up next, we have the FMA Allentown District. With 27 teams venturing to Allentown, New Jersey, every team but one would end up in playoffs. No one could do the trap, which led to a fairly evenly distributed ranking, but it would be Team 1923 Midnight Inventors that would lead the charge at rank 1, being the only team to secure 2 4-ranking point matches. Qual 50 would be the second of these, effectively locking them into the 1 seed. They were partnered with teams 834 Spartex and 4573 Rambotics, and this match would be an uphill battle for 4 ranking points. Right out of the autonomous mode, with 2:15 left in Telly, you can see that only 2 shots made from auto went in, and many more are left around the Blue Alliance side. This does not deter their alliance, though, as through the next 30 seconds, 1923 cycles from the source and leaves 4573 and 834 to clean up any misses. By the last 20 seconds of the match, Blue has secured 18 notes for the ranking point and can focus on the climb. By taking time to line up for the harmony, 4573 and 834 were able to hang together, with 1923 on the other side, securing all 4 rank points. 1923 would select teams 103 Cybersonics and 2577 Pingry Robotics for their alliance in the playoff rounds. They would face a strong 4 seed in finals, where they would lose each finals match in auto, but they would rally back in teleop, just like they did in Quals 50. Finals 3 is the best example of this. At the end of auto, with 2:15 left in Telly, the Red Alliance is down 14-26. Part of this is that in every match, 1923 and 103 would grab more notes and shoot them back into their zone without scoring. But the other part was that 2577 did an absolutely stellar job as a defense box on wheels. Without Blue poaching from the Red wing, and with 2577 blocking off the route to the source, Red would outshoot Blue, pulling ahead with what would prove to be an insurmountable 4-note lead by the last 30 seconds, and extending to a 7-note lead by the end of the match. Congrats go out to 1923, 103, and 2577 for the district win, and especially to 1923 with that double gold cling bling, winning the Impact Award as well, and to an unquestionable Engineering Inspiration Award from second-year team 9015 Questionable Engineering. This week, we also had a second FMA district event, the Seneca District, located in Tabernacle, New Jersey. They also had 27 teams, but their event was a little bit different in that they had no 4 rank point matches. This gave us some upsets in the rankings, but Team 365, the Miracle Workers, would take first rank with 25 total ranking points from 12 matches, earning the Melody RP in 4 and the Ensemble in 2. 365's first pick would be Team 316, the Lunatics, with the highest OPR at the event. 365 faced off against 316 back-to-back in qualifications, going 1-1 against them. In the second matchup, 365 would take the win against top 2 OPR robots at the event, 316 and Team 1640 Sabotage. Right out of auto and at the 2-minute mark in the match, 484 would unfortunately die on the field. Despite being down a robot, this match would be pretty even throughout teleop. So, how did the Red Alliance squeak out a win here? At about 155, 1712 makes their way down to the blue subwoofer, forcing 1640 and 316 to only shoot from the podium, where they were both less accurate. By tying up their shooting, Red was able to even out the scores and keep up by exactly 1 point throughout the match. Despite the loss, Blue still hit the Melody ranking point, and Red would climb with 1 under the threshold. 365 and 316 would take this knowledge into the playoff rounds, where they would select Team 1257 Parallel Universe to their alliance to play defense right in front of the subwoofer, like in that match. The number 1 seed was a powerhouse, and they would only lose 1 match through all of playoffs. In match 7, the powerhouse 4-seed alliance of teams 27-22, 7-14, and 27-20 would put up quite a fight in what would prove to be a preview of the final rounds. This match was back and forth, even on both sides, until about 1:10 left in the match, where 365's intake unfortunately broke down. Luckily, 365's driving had been stellar this entire event, and when we say that sometimes the best offense robots make the best defense robots, this is what we're talking about. 365's defense around 45 seconds causes Blue to miss an entire amplification, and for the rest of the match, they only score 2 more notes. Despite this, Blue takes the win by a single climb point in the endgame, proving just how close this match was. They'd face off again in finals, where 365, 316, and 1257 would take the win. Congrats 316 on that also double gold Kling Bling. Congratulations on the Impact Award. And 1257 for that gold silver Kling Bling, taking engineering inspiration.
This is the first week of competition for the Peachtree District, and we have 2 great events to talk about. First, let's start with Anderson. In upstate South Carolina, 32 teams convened at the Anderson Civic Center, 9 of whom came up from Georgia. Only one team, 3489 Category 5, had any previous play, previously competing in the out-of-district in North Carolina last weekend. Coming in, we knew a few teams would be duking it out for the top spots. If you watch my forecast videos, you know I had 4451 Robots Garage locked in and 2974 Walton Robotics as contender number 1. Well, I was close. 2974 ended up with the top rank, having held it for the majority of the event. Oh, by the way, they don't have a climber yet. Clearly, however, they didn't need it. 4451 wasn't far behind, but fell slightly after a couple bad matches on day 2. My second contender, 343 Metal in Motion, would end up ranked 3rd. However, making a big leap upward this year, with an impressive shooter and a unique climb that you can check out on Behind the Bumpers, was 6366 Ramrods, coming home ranked 2nd. In alliance selections, to many surprise, 2974 Walton would take 343 over 6366 or 4451. Eventually, they would round out alliance number 1 with 3091, 100 Scholars Academy. 6366 would then scoop up their sister team, 4451, and 9571, a true rookie team, Patriot Prime, to form alliance number 2. The other alliance we're keeping our eye on here is alliance number 7. They would be led by 3490 Viper Drive. Joining them was 1051 the Technical Terminators and 3329 the Wildbots. 3490 struggled early in the event and was thusly overlooked by many teams, but slowly began to creep up the stats and rankings late on day 1 and early day 2. And the defense from 3329 was strong because the robot was tall, and all they had to do was park at the subwoofer to shut down many shooters. This would prove incredibly effective for them in playoffs, helping them reach the lower bracket finals against alliance number 2. This match would begin with a tie and tally up, 14 each. 4451 and 6366 had more points possible, but missed 1 or 2 shots. As the match went on, both alliances continued to score notes in their speakers, going back and forth, with neither taking a significant lead over the other. At about a minute left, we were still in a dead heat, 30-29, in favor of Red. Alliance number 2's defense bot became careless and incurred a few penalties. Combine that with the issues that 4451 and 6366 both had with their shooters. This would quickly fall in favor of the Blue Alliance, with a final score of 72-33. Moving on to finals would be Alliance 7 and Alliance 1. Red Alliance would take the lead in Autonomous 19-14. They would have Walton on speaker, 343 running the amp, and 3091 attempting defense. Their solid strategy, complemented by coordination and precision, quickly gave them a significant lead. They had already extended their lead to 15 points with a minute 30 remaining. Unfortunately for Blue Alliance, their defense bot lost connection. With that, there was nothing to be done to slow down the insane speed of Walton's scoring. They easily take this win 76-34. With Wild bots having issues, Alliance 7 called in a backup bot 1319 Flash. However, Finals 2 would be just more of the same. Alliance 1 took the event win. Congrats to 2974 Walton Robotics, 343 Metal in Motion, and 3091 Scholars Academy on their win. This just the second blue banner for 3091, so double congrats to them. A big shout out to our Culture Award winners. Engineering Inspiration and Impact Award would go to the same teams that won both awards last year, 8575 Due West and 3489 Category 5 respectively. Now just a couple hours across the state line, in the northwest corner of Georgia, we have the Peachtree Dalton event. 36 teams from both states met up at the Dalton Convention Center, 2 of which crossed the border from South Carolina. Teams I looked for to stand out were 1102, 6919, 1746, 1683, 6340, and 4112. Taking rank number 1 would in fact be 1102 Making Magic. They would skip over second and third seeds, picking up 4th ranked 7451 Avengers Robotics and 3344 Space Dragons to form their alliance. The second alliance would be led by 2nd ranked 6919 the Commodores, joined by 3rd ranked 1746 Auto and 4701 Team Wire. And to foreshadow things a bit, I also have to mention Alliance 4, led by 6th ranked 4112 Eagle Bots, along with 6340 Maris Manatees and True Rookies 9500 G28 Robotics. Alliance 4 would actually make their ways to finals via the upper bracket, upsetting both the number 1 and number 2 alliances and sending them to the lower bracket. Where things got really fun is when alliances 1 and 2 met in the lower bracket finals, match 13. At the end of Autonomous, Blue Alliance led by 3. Blue, however, quickly caught up, outpacing Alliance 1 scorings. Things were still looking even until about 55 seconds remaining. 7451 got caught interfering in the red amplification zone, collecting penalties and shooting the score up for Alliance 2. Blue fought hard to catch up, scoring nearly 15 unanswered points, but fell just short due to their earlier penalties. This means Alliance number 2 is heading for a rematch with Alliance 4 in the finals. These matches were tight, coming with 11 points in Finals 1 and 10 points in Finals 2. So let's go ahead and talk about Finals 2. In Autonomous, we see both alliances make multi-note autos, leaving the score close at 19-21 in favor of Blue. 4701 of Blue Alliance quickly went to work playing defense at the subwoofer. Conversely, 9500 was supposed to play defense for Red, but wound up dead on the field in seconds into teleop after a collision with 1746. Regardless of this, Red took the lead until about a minute and a half remaining. With 1746 playing the support role, filling the amp and feeding notes to 6919, the cycles of Blue Alliance appeared flawless with smooth execution and excellent communication to not cross paths. With 20 seconds left, 6919 and 6340 got a lot together, and honestly, I'm not quite sure who was playing defense on who, but with only 4112 moving to the stage, it appeared that everyone else had kind of lost track of what time was left in the match. As time hit 0, only Eaglebots were parked on the stage, leaving the score at 52-62 in favor of Blue Alliance. So congratulations to the second seeded alliance of 6919 the Commodores, 1746 Auto, and 7401 Team Wire. We have 2 double clean blings here with both winners 1746 taking Engineering Inspiration and finalist 7451 Avengers Robotics earning the Impact Award. Good luck to teams competing next weekend in Gwinnett. That event looks stacked, and I can't wait to see it.
Hey everyone, the Week 2 event in First, North Carolina was located at the UNC Pembroke campus on the east side of the state this year. There were 30 teams in attendance at this event, and it was a blast with multiple high-powered teams attending. The high score of the event was 82 points. Several of the notable teams attending were 2642, the Pit Pirates, Team 4561, the Terabytes, and 1533 Triple Strange. The first match that we are going to be looking at has to be match 1 of playoffs. As is normal, this match was between Alliance 1 and Alliance 8. Alliance 1 was comprised of teams 4561 the Terabytes, 2642 the Pit Pirates, and 5518 the Techno Wolves. Alliance 8 consisted of teams 9008 G-Force, 1533 Triple Strange, and 7443 the Jaguars. Starting off in auto, red was able to shoot off 4 notes, but only 2 made it in the speaker, while blue was able to find a home in the speaker for all 3 of their auto notes. This started off the match with blue leading 26-12. Red was quickly able to put up points, leading to a score of 36-34. Blue leading at the 50-second mark when 4561 gets a note stuck in their intake, causing red's scoring potential to be dramatically reduced. Jumping to endgame at 5 seconds left, blue has 2 robots parked and 1 climbed, while red only has 2 parked. This contributed to the major upset in this match, with Alliance 8 beating Alliance 1 52-44 points. The second important match at this event was Finals 1. This match was between Alliance 2 and Alliance 5. Alliance 2 comprised of 8727 Glitch 2.0, 2640 Hotbots, and 3196 Spork. Alliance 5 included teams 4534 the Wired Wizards, 6729 Robco Bots, and 5511 Cortex. Right away, auto starts off with red putting up 4 notes, while blue manages to only get 2 notes with 2 missed. Scores going into teleop were 24-14, red leading. This 10-point lead continued until the minute 30 mark, when red is able to get off 2 amp shots, but blue only manages 1. A blitz of rapid scoring leaves red with a nearly 20-point lead down to the 1-minute mark. This lead continues on to endgame, holding steady. At 10 seconds remaining, 2 red robots get off the ground, while blue only has 2 bots parked. This clinches the match in favor of red, and the final scores were 68-46. The second finals match was also won by red, 71-57, with 17 penalty points swinging the match for red. Congratulations to Alliance 2 for their win, and a shout out to Alliance 5 for their valiant effort. Also, a huge congratulations to Team 9008 G-Force for winning the Engineering Inspiration Award. Another huge congratulations goes to Team 3737 the Road Rappers for winning the Impact Award. Shout out goes to all the other teams award winners at this event, and that's it for UNC Pembroke.
This weekend at Churchland High School, 23 teams gathered for the CHS Portsmouth event. Yes, you heard me, 23 teams. With such a low team count, we saw some crazy turnaround times with only like 1 to 2 matches in between each one or for teams, and a 7 alliance playoff system. Like, despite the low team count, this event saw the rise of many left field plays and robot designs from teams that were executed quite well for only being week 2. Like, this included teams like 2890 running a very versatile Mechanim bot, and 2363 running an amp and trap only bot. However, sitting at the top of the rankings, continuing their undefeated streak in qualification matches from Ashland last week, was 422 MechTech Dragons. They achieved this feat by making sure to cycle notes like no tomorrow. And no, I don't mean shooting notes into the speaker or the amp. As you can see here in match 34, at a minute 40 seconds left in the match, they begin to shoot notes from directly out of the wing close to their amp and subwoofer. Fast forward to a minute 30 seconds left on the clock, we can see their alliance partner shooting into the speaker multiple notes that are now all together amplified to one perfect melody. With this strategy in mind, many people thought they would pick up the number 2 seed in 2363 Triple Helix, whose fast and consistent amp styles would leave a massive pile of notes at the amp dump zone each match. However, 422 chose 346 Robohawks, who could be versatile in both the amp and speaker, along with a trap scoring capability. This alliance was then rounded out with the host team 3359 Royal Robotics. This alliance proved to be a versatile group during match 7 of the elimination bracket. At the start of the match, you can see that during the autonomous period, 422 was unable to fully power up their shooter wheels, resulting in them grabbing multiple notes during auto and getting some fouls there. Once teleop begins, you see around 2 minutes and 12 seconds left in the match that 422 struggles more and more with the inability to fully power their flywheels. At 2 minutes left in the match, they switch to their strategy of delivering notes to their partners 346 and just barely eke out a win against the number 4 seed, thanks to 346 cycles and some penalties from some dirty defense of the number 4 seed. While the struggle seemed to expose the number 1 seed a little bit, they proved that they were not ones to be messed with, as they were able to win match 11 with their signature strategy. In the finals, they faced off against the number 2 seed of 2363 Triple Helix, 5549 Griffin Robotics, and 2988 Robo Riot. Starting off with a bang, the number 1 seed immediately went to work on their strategy, shooting note after note on their side of the onto their side of the field at the 2-minute 5-second mark. This strategy took them an early lead and then cemented that lead when 30 seconds left in the match. 2363 slammed into the wall trying to dislodge a note and then disconnected from the field, giving the win to the number 1 seed. Finals 2 was an even bigger blowout as 5549 was dead on field with a down swerve motor, meaning the number 1 seed took the event, with Forger 2 going undefeated this weekend. Congrats to the number 1 alliance, as well as 346 on EI for that gold, silver, cling bling, and to 2068 metal jackets for impact.
Welcome up north to our Canadian events. We're taking a look at Centennial College event first. With 30 teams competing in 58 qualification matches, there was lots of excitement to be had by everyone attending. I was fortunate enough to be able to stop by this event and see some robots in person. Some teams I was especially looking forward to seeing were 188, 1310, 1325, and 7558. Though early in the competition, qualification match 3 was certainly one to watch. Despite being the only robot on the Blue Alliance, 7558 Alt F4 was able to pull off an exciting win 15-10. Their opponents, 7659, 9263, and 8574, fought hard but couldn't best 7558. While it still needs to be tuned, the Auto 7558 ran shows promise of an excellent shoot while driving capability to come later in the season. Not wanting to waste any time, 7659 HNMCS climbed at 25 seconds, successfully making it on stage. Huge shout out to Alt F4's human player for going 3 for 3 in high note throws in their very first match of the competition. This gave 7558 their choice of stages to be spotlit on, climbing with only 5 seconds left. What an incredible win. It was super exciting. Now, in a crazy playoffs, we saw Alliance 8, 7603, 7902, and 7712 take on Alliance 1, 7558, 1325, and 5834. Starting in auto, Alliance 1 attempted to clear the center line, while Alliance 8 crossed out of their robot starting zone but stayed in their own wing. With both alliances zooming around the field and amplifying their speakers, it was an exciting matchup. I love the large googly eye on 7902's bot. It was clearly seen around 107 as they successfully blocked 5834 from getting to their source. Each alliance had one robot make it onto the stage. Both 7558 and 7902 showed off very seamless climbs. Despite the best efforts of Alliance 8, Alliance 1 was able to take Finals Match 2, making them the new winners of the Centennial College event. Congratulations to both the winners and finalists, as well as the amazing teams who competed this weekend. After such an exciting weekend of robots, I would like to congratulate all of our award winners, including 7712 ACCN Umoja for the Impact Award, 7659 HNMCS for Engineering Inspiration, 9562 Reading Robotics for Rookie All-Star, and 188 Blizzard for the Creativity Award. Now, on to one of the most anticipated events in Ontario, the Newmarket District event. So many historically good teams, as well as up-and-coming younger teams to keep your eye on. A couple notable teams I know I had to watch before the event even started. 610, 865, 1114, 2056, and 4476. I can't forget about 9062 Ontario Rookie All-Stars last year and 9098, the highest Ontario rookie seed at District Champs last year for the Technology Division. With so many exciting matches, it was hard to focus on just one to highlight here. I would love to drone on and on about all the matches, but I'll stick to talking about qualification match 12 right now. The Red Alliance, 2056, 1305, and 4152 took the win over the Blue Alliance, 7476, 7200, and 4951. 2056 and 4152 did an amazing job setting up their autos to run without interfering with each other. OP did an awesome job clearing most of the center notes, while Hoya worked to try and pick up the notes in their wing. Some amazing subwoofer shots put up by Banting kept the Blue Alliance fighting for that melody ranking point. I also want to highlight the Red Alliance human player at the amp. At 50 seconds left, you can clearly see they are waiting till just before the note passes the scoring sensor to press that amplification button. Great timing. And with just 20 seconds left, the robots are making their way to the stages to start climbing. 4152, with the only trap mechanism at the event, successfully places a note and climbs with plenty of time to spare. But they were not the only ones to get on stage. 7200 and 2056 also climbed, while 7476 and 4951 parked. Now, on to the playoffs. In the finals, we saw Alliance 1, captained by 2056, with 4039 and 6854 go head-to-head with the third Alliance, 4152 and 865, captained by 610. After Alliance 1 took the first finals match, Alliance 3 switched up the strategy in the second one in an amazing effort to push the finals into a tiebreaker. Unfortunately for them, they could not pull off the win. But boy, was it an amazing match to watch. After Alliance 1 took the first finals match 110 to 58, Alliance 3 came back with a defense board attached to Warp 7, and it definitely confused Alliance 1 for a bit. Until OP seemingly remembered that their robot is also capable of shooting over a barrier. There's a great example of this with 144 left in the match. With 865 playing defense, 610 and 4152 were able to continuously cycle, making the match a nail-biter right until the end. They did an amazing job syncing their cycles to amplify, and even held a small lead for around 50 seconds. Unfortunately, this wasn't enough, and Alliance 1 took the win 83 to 69. Congratulations to all of the event winners and finalists. Fun fact, this Blue Banner win means that OP is now tied with 1114 Symbiotics for second most Blue Banners in FRC with 55 each. The only team ahead of them is 254, the Cheesy Poofs, with 62. Congratulations to all the teams competing this weekend and our new market award winners, including 4039 Makeshift for Impact, 4343 Max Tech for Engineering Inspiration, 9580 hashtag Change the Now for Rookie All-Star, and 4476 Waffles for Gracious Professionalism.
Updates now, recap of the 2024 Istanbul Regional, where teams from 6 different countries around the world came together to compete, creating a harmonious symphony of innovation and collaboration. This event brought together 51 teams. Notable among them were 6838 X-Shark, winners of the 2023 Bosphorus and Haliç Regional, 8613 Barker Greybacks from Australia, 7444 Moonstar Robotics from Turkey. They were the champions of the 2023 Bosphorus Regional, 4191 IMC and 2905 Sultans of Turkey, long-time Impact Award winners. There were teams from Chinese Taipei, including 6941 Iron Pulse and 7632 Ankang Robotics Maker and 8806 Our Lady of Providence Dream League, and finally 7539 Elevate from India. In qualification 66, this match was probably notably the only unicorn match of the event, with three high seed ranked teams on the same alliance. In this match, we saw 6838 X-Shark and 7444 Moonstar Robotics primarily focusing on the amplification, while 8613 Barker Greybacks dedicate to themselves to scoring. Despite the absence of a trap and harmony in the endgame, the Red Alliance secured the ensemble ranking point due to a penalty. This pivotal moment propelled 8613 Barker Greybacks to the second rank, setting the stage for their eventual ascent to the first spot. In the match final one, both alliances engaged in double offensive gameplay. The second picks 8788 TED Robotics for the Red Alliance and 8127 Rebite for the Blue Alliance. They showcased their defensive strategies, creating an intense defensive battle on the field. Notably, Team 8613 Barker Greybacks impressed with a 5.5 node autonomous performance. This match marked the second encounter between Alliance 1 and Alliance 2 since match 1, adding an extra layer of anticipation to the proceedings. Match ended with score of 90 to 59. And congratulations to Alliance 1 for the regional event winner, 8613 Barker Greybacks, 6941 Iron Pulse, and 8780 TED Robotics for their victory. Before we wrap up, let's give a shout out to the teams who not only rocked the competition, but also made a big impact beyond the robot arena. Team 6014 ARC winning the Regional First Impact Award, Team 4191 IMC taking home to the Regional Engineering Inspiration Award, and Team 9647 Ladybug the Rookie All-Stars Award. And let's not forget to congratulate Muhammed Akif Topçil for his well-deserved Woody Flowers Finalist Award. recognizing his outstanding mentorship and dedication. Welcome to the first updates and recap of 2024 Bosphorus Regional, where teams around the world showcase their talents in Istanbul, Turkey. A total of 51 teams competed in this exciting event. Among the standout teams, there were Hall of Fame team 4613 Barker Redbacks from Australia, 6941 Iron Pulse from China, 7613 Ankang Robotics Maker, and 8806 Our Lady of Providence Dream League from Chinese Taipei, 8570 Binary Balls from India, 7570 Newtek from Poland, 9483 Istanbul Wildcats from Turkey. Let's dive into one of the key matches of the event, Qualification 43. In this intense showdown, all three teams on the Blue Alliance collaborated seamlessly to execute a triple offensive strategy, resulting in an impressive high score. This match also set a world record for a qualification match, with an outstanding auto score of 56 points, achieved with 10 game pieces. Teams 8054 and 9483 focused on the speaker. Meanwhile, Team 6941 scored to the amp. Despite a violent effort, the Red Alliance struggled to match the Blue Alliance performance. Notably, Team 9483 executed their flawless 6-note autonomous. Except for the one note, all the other notes were scored during this match. While Team 854 secured the remaining 2 notes in the stage area during the autonomous. In the final match 1, the Red Alliance, comprising of Team 4613 Barker Redbacks, Team 9483 Istanbul Wildcats, and Team 6886 Laissez Faire, squared off against the Blue Alliance, consisting of Team 6415 AG Robotic, Team 8570 Binary Bolts, and Team 8058 EL Robotics. Despite the encountering setback, Team 9483 lost their swerve drivetrain due to a CAN bus issue. The Red Alliance persevered, while Team 4613 Barker Redbacks, taking on the offensive role with Team 8056 Laissez Faire, excelled in their defense maneuvers. The Blue Alliance fought violently, but in the end, it was the Red Alliance that emerged victorious, securing the title of regional winners. Congratulations to all teams for their remarkable performances. Also, congratulations to Team 8153 for the Regional First Impact Award, and Team 6988 for the Regional Engineering Inspiration Award, and Team 9610 for the Rookie All-Star Award. This is Barkan, signing off for the first updates now.
Israel District Event number 3 featured 29 Israeli teams, including teams 1574, 1577, 5654, 5987, and ISR 1 winners 1690 and 3339. At the end of quals, Team 6090 Orbit finished first and picked Team 3339 Bumblebee to join their alliance. Let's take a look at 2 of the matches, starting with playoff match number 12. This match featured Alliance 8 in red and 7 in blue. The match started very close as both alliances earned 29 points at the end of auto. The Blue Alliance opened a small lead, who grew thanks to a blue amplification at around the 1 minute 40 seconds mark, making their lead double digits. Another blue amplification at 50 seconds left helped them gain a 23-point lead. They managed to keep the lead very well and win the match 93-56. I really like this match as it features alliances 7 and 8 very late in the competition, still playing in the brackets, which really shows how open the competition really is. Moving on with final match number 1, bringing Alliance 1 in red and Alliance 2 in blue. After auto, Alliance 1 had a 5-point lead over the Alliance in blue. Things seemed to stay pretty close until around the 1 minute 45 seconds mark, as the red amplification helped the red to increase their lead. However, a quick blue amplification only seconds later helped the Blue Alliance even the score and even take the lead with 2 points. The blue lead continued until a red amplification at the 1 minute 15 second mark changed the lead to red once again. That lead grew to be almost 30 points with 30 seconds left on the clock. At the end, the Red Alliance won 91-63, and after a win in final match number 2, they won the event. Congratulations to Team 4416 Skynet for their first ever blue banner, as well as to 1690 Orbit and 3339 Bumblebee on their second win, with Team 3339 making it a silver gold Kling Bling, winning also the Engineering Inspiration Award. Another congratulation goes to Team 5654 Phoenix for the Impact Award. Moving into ISR number 4 event, this event featured 32 Israeli teams, including 2096, 22-31, 30-75, 55-54, and 59-90. At the end of quals, ISR number 2 winners, 22-31 Onyxtronics, finished first and picked 30-75 Atlink Team to join their alliance. Let's look at this alliance in playoff match 11. They were in red and met Alliance 2 in blue. After the autonomous period, Alliance 1 had the lead. At around the 1 minute and a half mark, despite a red amplification, the Blue Alliance seemed to start closing the gap. But only 30 seconds later, with 1 minute to go, Blue started an amplification that helped them even the score, 59-59. Afterwards, the lead moved back and forth a little bit between the alliances, with a 4-point lead to the Red Alliance at the buzzer. However, the final result was a tie, 78-78, with one tech foul awarded to each alliance. The tiebreaker was the auto points, painting that win red. Those two alliances met again in the finals with some more ties, as Alliance 1 won the first match and Alliance 2 won the second match. Let's take a look at final match 3 and see how this one played out. Starting us off with the autonomous period, both alliances started strong. However, it was the Red Alliance taking the lead. In response, Alliance 2 sent a quick amplification with 1 minute and 50 seconds on the clock, stealing the lead. A few seconds later, the Red Alliance added an amplification of their own, taking back the lead. At 1 minute 15 seconds, we were in a tie of 50 points to each alliance. This time around, the Red Alliance fired the first amplification in an attempt to reclaim their lead, and they were successful. However, the Blue Alliance did not give up and had an amplification of its own, with just under 1 minute to go, taking the lead back to them once again. At the last 20 seconds, we saw two red robots up in the air. However, with 55-54 trap, it was not enough, and the Blue Alliance won the match 82-72, and with that, won the event. What a great and exciting match to close an event with. Congratulations to the winning alliance with Team 90-37 Elysium and 59-28 Metal Boost winning their first ever blue banner. Congratulations to the alliance captain 55-54 the Poros for his silver gold Kling Bling, winning also the Engineering Inspiration Award, and another congratulations to Team 56-14 Sycamore for the Impact Award. Next, we are heading to the Israel District Championship, and we really hope to see you all there.
The First and Michigan St. Joseph District event also had 38 teams ready to prove themselves this weekend. At this event, I was keeping an eye out for Team 2767 Strike Force, who has also won this event 4 times in the past. Team 3620 The Average Joes, who won the St. Joseph event in 2023. Team 2054 The Tech Bikes. Team 5712 Hemlock's Gray Matter, and Team 5675 the Wired Cats. During the qualification matches, 2054 quickly rose to the top, holding the number 1 position for almost the entirety of qualification matches. Let's zoom into match 38 and check out Team 4237 Lancebot. During the autonomous mode, Lancebot shows off their impressive 4 game piece auto, even though there was contact with another robot that caused them to miss intaking the 4th game piece. Immediately going into the teleamp mode, they struggled to pick up a note, but once they did, they scored it into the amp and then moved on to the speaker while 4855 takes care of the amp. With 50 seconds left in the match, you can see Lancebot picking up a game piece by the Red Alliance amp, which both makes their cycle faster, but also increases the time it will take the Red Alliance to score because they will have to do a full field cycle. The final score of this match comes out to 64-6 Blue Alliance. The success of 4237 in this match foreshadows their success in the elimination matches. During Alliance selection, the Tech Bike selected 2-time world champ Team Strike Force. Team 894 selects 5712, and Team 3452 selects Team Lancebot. The number 1 alliance plowed their way through elimination matches, and match 1 was a perfect example of this. They started off with an attempted 7-note combined auto. With only 2 misses, they moved on to the teleamp mode. At 209, Strike Force and the Tech Bikes took turns scoring into the amp. 2767 then quickly dropped off a note to save for amplification, and 2054 led the charge and scoring in the speaker during amplification. At 117, you can see 5610 shooting nose over towards the speaker to save. This 3 offensive robot alliance scored an impressive 76 points during this match. The number 1 alliance was so strong that it was all smooth sailing from there, until the finals when they faced the 3rd alliance. The first alliance took the first 2 matches in the finals. The 3rd alliance kept up during these matches until the end game, where 2054 and 2767 both scored in the trap and climbed. Congratulations to Team 2054, the Tech Bikes, 2767 Strike Force, and Team 5610 Turbulence. The Engineering Inspiration Award went to Team 3452, the Grangineers, and the winner of the Impact Award went to Team 3620, the Average Joes. Again, thank you to everybody who made this event possible. The First in Michigan Escanaba District event had 38 teams ready to prove themselves this weekend. Some big names I was on the lookout for at this event were 857 Superior RoboWorks, who won this event last year as the First Alliance captain, 3655 the Tractor Technicians, who made it all the way to Einstein last year, 4391 the BraveBots, 6569 the Gladiators, and 2586 the Copperbots. Moving into qualification matches, it was a battle for the number one rank for about the first half of qualifications between 857, 3655, and 4391. Match 39 was the match that set 4391 up for the number one spot. In match 39, 4391 started off the match with their 4.5 game piece auto. Coming directly after the autonomous mode, 4391 struggled with amplifying, missing 3 shots into the amp. With 123 left in the match, the BraveBots went back to what they know and started slamming notes into the speaker. With the help of 4375 and 6558, they had 16 notes scored with 15 seconds left in the match. 4391 scored one and then cooked across the field and back with a note to hit an absolutely insane buzzer beater at T=0 for the ranking point that set them on the path to ranking first. During alliance selection, the BraveBots selected Superior RoboWorks, who had the second highest EPA at the event, which was 11.3 less than 4391. 3602 RoboMos was declined twice, which broke up the expected Copperbots and Tractor Technician alliance. 3602 ended up selecting 7154. The Copperbots selected the Gladiators, and the Tractor Technicians selected the Automatons. Moving on to the first 13 elimination matches, almost every single match went to the higher red seed until the finals. So that left the number 1 and the number 2 alliance in the finals to fight it out for the 3 winners' banners. Finals 1 went to the number 1 alliance with a score of 86-47. The second match started off with a 6 game piece auto from the Red Alliance, which gave them a 34-24 point lead on the Blue Alliance. You can see at 140 left in the match the defense that 1322 is playing against 4391. Unfortunately for the Blue Alliance, the BraveBots look like they can't be stopped by any sort of defense, and with 110 left on the clock, 1322 receives a tech foul for podium protection. All the while, 857 continues cycling the speaker and the amp, even through intake troubles. The whole match has been the Blue Alliance trying to catch up, and as the match progresses, it becomes clear that there is no catching up. Both alliances ended with 2 robots climbed, and the final score came out 78-55. Congratulations to Team 4391, the BraveBots, Team 857 Superior RoboWorks, and Team 6113 Mark I. Moving forward to awards, we have 2586, the Copperbots from Calumet, Michigan, with the Engineering Inspiration Award. And the winner of the Impact Award was Team 3655, the Tractor Technicians, out of Mason, Michigan. Thank you for everybody that made this event possible.
39 teams gathered to compete at the Belleville Qualifier event in Belleville, Michigan. Some notable teams participating in this event are 217 Thunder Chickens, 469 Lost Gorillas, and 7211 Hollywood. Our first notable match is Qualification Match 1. This match set the tone for how easy it would be to gather penalties throughout the competition. On the Red Alliance, we have 217 Thunder Chickens, 9775 Ravens, and 3707 Techno Dogs. Over on the Blue Alliance, we can see 469 Lost Gorillas, 7211 Hollywood, and 4737 Atomigators. At the start of Autonomous, we noticed the Red Alliance is leading by a decent-sized margin of 10 points due to 3707 and 217 scoring their preloaded notes successfully in the speaker. This only fuels the Blue Alliance to shorten the gap they have against the Red Alliance. On the surface, the Blue Alliance scores 9 notes while the Red Alliance scores 11 notes in all of Teleop. On paper, this seems like the Red Alliance are opening up the gap, but the Blue Alliance's strategy shows how important the amplification period really is. We notice that 469 seems to be tasked with the job of being an amp scoring bot, with them starting off Teleop by scoring 2 notes into the amp, and with the Alliance choosing to be amplified at the 134 mark. The issues teams realized might happen to themselves seems to become obvious around the 150 mark, as 97-75 is seen manipulating 2 game pieces. Not only that, but at the 1 minute mark, were they also seen gaining penalties for pinning the Blue Alliance robots against the Blue Source. By the end of the match, the Blue Alliance benefited from the 24 points worth of penalties the Red Alliance had earned them, winning the match by a margin of 15 points, going 61-49. Our second notable match is qualification match 12. This match definitely had viewers on the edge of their seats. On the Red Alliance, we have 92-11 ACC Underdogs, 15-28 Monroe Trojan Robotics, 83-73 the Flying Octopi. Over on the Blue Alliance, we are joined by 51 Wings of Fire, 88-95 Red Wolves Robotics, and 36-56 Drexter Robotics. At the end of autonomous, the Red Alliance takes the lead by a slim margin of 5 points, with all 6 robots earning the points for mobility. But at the very beginning of teleop, 83-73 scores a game piece into the speaker, being the only bot to do so during autonomous. Heading over to teleop, we have some amazing defensive tactics being played. The Blue Alliance, specifically 51, seems to have a difficult time scoring due to 92-11's defensive plays. But the Blue Alliance fights back, with 88-95 seemingly leaving their bot stationary around the 155 mark in front of the Red Alliance's subwoofer. This seems to only last 15 seconds before 83-73 decides to shove 88-95 away from their territory. As the match continues, 92-11 attempts to obstruct 36-56 from scoring into the amp, effectively disconnecting themselves at the 111 mark, ending their game. What seems to be a clear win for the Blue Alliance as they head into endgame, leading 35-27, the Blue Alliance ends the match with 36-56 and 51 hanging, while the Red Alliance ends with climb from 83-73 and 15-28, finding themselves parked under the stage. When the cameras turn off, the match is said to be under review. After thorough investigation and by a slim margin, winning by 2 points, it's the Blue Alliance who wins, going 43-41 points. The score breakdown even shows the 2 alliances being on par with each other, even in the 15 points worth of penalties both teams have accumulated. The alliance that won the 2 extra RPs for winning really came down to the last second of endgame. Congratulations to winning Alliance 51 Wings of Fire, 83-73 the Flying Octopi, and 65-38 Linkbots for taking home the blue banner at this event. The finalist alliance, 37-07 Technodogs, 226 Hammerheads, and 81-79 RoboFalcons, and to the other 33 teams that competed at this event. A double congratulations to the 226 Hammerheads for winning the Impact Award, and congratulations to 97-35 Electric Dragons for winning the Rookie All-Star Award at this event. 40 teams gathered to compete at the Kettering Event Qualifier in Flint, Michigan. Some notable teams participating in this event are 1684 the Chimeras and 9251 Spartan Robotics. Our first notable match is qualifications match number 2. Over on the Red Alliance, we have 453 Rockham Sockham Robotics, 5674 the Gearhounds, and 5641 Byron Robotics. Over on the Blue Alliance, we have 9572 CC Shambites, 5193 Pantheon, and 3568 Robo Eagles. At the end of autonomous, we have the Blue Alliance leading by 6 points, going 12-6. The match starts off being quiet, but eventually at the 146 point, it seems that 5193 have stopped in front of their alliance's subwoofer. Over on the Red Alliance's side, at the 1 minute mark, they choose to amplify their speaker. With 5674 shooting notes, the score becomes neck and neck, with 18 points to both alliances, effectively by the 55-second mark. Coincidentally, it looks like 5193 have brought their robot back to life, and it's back to a 3v3 game. As we get closer to endgame, 453 starts playing some defense over by the Blue Alliance's subwoofer, around the 35-second mark, hindering from the blue bots to score any notes into the speaker. As we close out the match, the scores are very close to each other, 26 for blue and 30 for red. But once stage points get added to the mix, it's a 1 point difference that takes home the win. Over on the Blue Alliance, the match ends with 95-72 climbing and 35-68 being parked. Over on the Red Alliance, we have 56-74 being climbed. At the end of the day, it was the Red Alliance who found themselves with a 1 point lead, winning this qualification match. For our second match, we are going to skip playoffs and jump straight to finals match 2. where the Kettering Event 2 winners would be decided. Over on the Red Alliance, we have Alliance 1, formed by Alliance captains 5907 CC Shambots, and they were joined by 5114 Titanium Tigers and 5612. Over on the Blue Alliance, we have Alliance 2, formed by Alliance captains 68 Truck Down Thunder, with their partnerships with 1718 The Fighting Pie and 9572 CC Shambites. This match starts with the Kettering being at the edge of their seats, as the two alliances start teleop being neck-to-neck in points, 34 for each alliance. At the very beginning of teleop, we notice that the Red Alliance takes the route under the Blue Alliance's stage, causing a few hiccups on the Blue Alliances, even 9572 being tangled on their own chain near the 158 mark. Moving forward, we begin to see the Blue Alliance pulling away from the Red Alliance. On paper, it seems that the Red Alliance scores 16 notes, while the Blue Alliance scores 13 notes in teleop. That doesn't seem like a big gap, but due to the amplification period, first ignited by the Red Alliance at the roughly around the 140 mark, we see the Red Alliance start chasing and eventually begins pulling away from the Blue Alliance. As we see the Red Alliance largely increase their gap, we notice the Blue Alliance bravely try to play some defense around the 122 mark. Regardless, this isn't enough, as the Red Alliance have already gave themselves a 13-point lead. Eventually, it's the Red Alliance who take home the blue banner, winning this match 94-70. Congratulations to the winning alliance 5907 CC Shambots, 5115 Titanium Tigers, and 5612 Robo Raptors. And the finalist alliance 68 Truck Down Thunder, 1718 The Fighting Pie, and 9572 CC Shambites, and the other 34 teams that competed at this event. A double congratulations to 5114 Titanium Tigers for winning the Impact Award, and 9572 CC Shambites for winning the Rookie All-Star Award.
The first in Michigan Lake City event featured a plethora of robots we haven't seen yet this season, and it was certainly an entertaining district. Classic Michigan teams like 3641 the Flying Toasters, 3536 the Electro Eagles, 1918 NC Gears, 4003 Trisonics, 3536 Electro Eagles, and many more who made the trip up to Lake City High School for the Saturday-Sunday event. When forecasting the event, Fun correspondent Nick Jr. predicted 3536 the Electro Eagles as a dark horse, and he was right on point. Quickly on in the event, in Quals 19, there was already a clash of titans. 3536 the Electro Eagles took on who I thought was the event favorite, Team 3641 the Flying Toasters. In Auton, the Toasters and Eagles were quite even, and even into their teleop cycling, they were quite similar. Around 107 left, the Blue Alliance defense bot 9568 creates quite the traffic jam for the Red Alliance. However, as they continue their defensive play, they were unable to do so unpenalized. With just 27 seconds left, Electro Eagles hits 9568 hard and causes them to panic, resulting in multiple tech foul points in the following seconds. At the end, the Red Alliance receives 25 points as a result of the 5 tech fouls and made what was a close match a runaway for the Electro Eagles. The next match I'd like to dive into was crucial in the race for the 1 seed, Quals 38. 35-36 the Electro Eagles took on Team 44-22 the Twisted Angels. The Angels, out of Gull Lake, Michigan, had a strong showing at the event, and were certainly a force to be reckoned with. Quickly into the match, with a minute 45 to play, one of the Red Alliance robots, 5509, made a name for themselves with a solid opportunistic defensive play. They ran that lane The lane that they ran was good for what most third robots should do on an alliance, clogging up the source path for blue, while also contributing to the Red Alliance's quest for more notes. This action did not go unnoticed, and Red won the match, handing the Twisted Angels their only loss of the qualifications. Electro Eagles would go on to seed first, undefeated, and select both the Twisted Angels and 5509, creating a solid number 1 seed. The shock to many came in Elimination Match 7, when the powerful 4 seed shut down the offensive machine of the 1 Alliance. 85-17 did a fantastic job for the 4 Alliance coming out of Auton, getting notes into their scoring zone, and then at a minute 57, when the Red Alliance needed to get to the source, it was smash time. With their creative triangle bumper design and an elite driving skill, the 4 seed destroyed the Eagles and the Angels on defense, and the 4 seed would ride this success all the way through the rest of the playoffs into the finals, all the way to a Lake City District event victory. Huge congratulations to the winning alliance, captained by Team 8873 Rockefeller Robotics, and their alliance of 3618 the Petoskey Paladins, and Team 8517 the Bounty Hunters. For all three of these teams, this was their first ever event win, so congratulations on making that giant leap. Congratulations are also in order for Team 5166 the Fabricators on their Impact Award win. Keep doing great things with Project Auto. Team 5216 Evil Empire won EI, and Team 9568 the Astrobots took home Rookie All-Star. Huge congrats to all the teams on a great event. Best of luck at your next events or the Michigan State Championship. The first in Michigan Woodhaven event was a spectacle of underdogs, comebacks, and true inspiration. With no favorites, the qualifications were a bloodbath of close calls, tight matches, and game-winning strategy. One of the most important was certainly Qualification Match 24, featuring the Red Alliance of 815 Advanced Power and 2851 Crevolution against the Blue Alliance of 3604 the Goon Squad and 5436 the Cybercats. All four of these robots ranked inside the top 7, and this match was the deciding factor for those coveted top seeds. The Blue Alliance demonstrated complementary autos and came into teleop slightly ahead. At a minute 53, we see 815 pivot to a passing strategy, passing to their partners Crevolution, and they scored. However, just seconds later at a minute 30, 5619 of the Blue Alliance had moved into defensive position and blocked their path to the source. The Red Alliance seemed to have a bit of an identity crisis for strategy throughout this match, and the Blue Alliance dominated. The combo of 3604 and 5436 proved to be too much for the Red Alliance, and what had been a billion of Titans turned into a true rout. 3604 would seed first, followed by 5436 in second, and they would join together to form the number 1 alliance. Despite an early hiccup against the 8 seed, the 1 alliance would battle back through the lower bracket and meet up with the underdog number 6 alliance in the finals. After splitting the first 2 matches, it all came down to the rubber match, Finals 3. Auto was not perfect for either alliance, scoring just 3 notes apiece. At a minute 48, in a demonstration of true force and power, the Goon Squad shoved their way through 2 Red Alliance robots, continuing their quick cycles. Just seconds later, we see the Blue Alliance amplify, and quick thinking by the Goon Squad and getting a midfield note resulted in scoring 3 amplified notes in this 1 amp period for the Blue Alliance. Amplified notes are the name of the game and proved powerful for the number 1 alliance throughout the match. With just 30 seconds remaining, 1189 of the Red Alliance was pounded into the blue stage, disconnecting and nailing the coffin for the number 6 seed. Congratulations to the winning alliance, the number 1 seed, captained by 3604, the Goon Squad, and they were assisted by Team 5436, the Cybercats, and Team 280, TNT. 3604 sounded like winners walking around with all their medals as they completed the coveted double gold Kling Bling with their Impact Award win. 7174 Charger Robotics took home EI, and Team 9744, the Braid Hop Bulldogs, won the Rookie All-Star Award. Congratulations to all 39 teams on an exciting event, and best of luck as you continue to battle for your right to compete at the Michigan State Championship.
Let's look at the Great Northern Regional. 56 teams battling it out through 84 qualification matches. 6 local North Dakota teams, 1 Canadian team, and a bunch of Minnesota teams. Throughout all the qualifications, no team would go undefeated, and a few shake-up matches would flip the top teams around. Qual 83, the second to last match, would see the current rank 1 team, 876 Thunder Robotics, go up against the current rank 2 team, 3293 Otterbots. This match would be close, right out of auto. 3293 would set up for a 2-note amp auto, and even with a small nudge from 728, would go get both notes into that amp. Coming in the teleop, Blue would only have a 1-point lead, but would amplify their speaker right off the start. This would allow 3 amped notes into the speaker at the beginning to start their lead. They would hold this lead all the way till the end, with 3293 adding a note into the trap and 2 bots in the air. 4 rank points would then put 3293 in that top spot before alliance selections. They would go to add 2530 Inconceivable and 9745 Laser Sharks to their alliance. Though we would see 876 create 1 fierce alliance with 3276 Toolcats, 9576 Loretto Lightning. This Seed 2 first playoff match 3 would be the high score of the event, with no penalties adding to that. With a 7 notes into the speaker in auto, Seed 2 would go right into going to fill that amp fast and get those amplified shots in. At the 1 minute 35 seconds left in this match, we would see 3276 sneak over to that blue source and quickly steal a note for a fast second amp note to get that speaker reamplified. At the end, we would see a spotlit 876 would seal that high score at 110. This strong alliance would continue to put up big numbers in all their matches and playoffs. 876 would also then see again 3293 in match 11, but they would take the win 85-52. Sending Seed 1 down into the lower bracket to face off against Seed 8, captained by 5172 Gators, their first pick 4539 Chaotic Robotics, and 3277 Prodigi once again. Though Seed 8 would actually come out victorious this time and go up against that dominant Seed 2 alliance in the finals. Though Seed 2 was on a roll and would not slow down, taking both matches swiftly. Once again, congrats to 876, 3276, and 9576, who also grabbed the Rookie All-Star Award. And shout out to 7048 Red River Rage on the Engineering Inspiration Award, and 3134 the Accelerators on their Impact Award. What an event!
Starting us off is the Arkansas Regional that took place at the Searcy's Lions Arena in Searcy, Arkansas. With only 28 teams, this was a small regional, but there was a lot of power packed into it, including 16 Bomb Squad, 323 Lights Out, 2992 SS Prometheus, 3937 Breakaway, and 8044 Denim Venom. 16 would be the team who would secure that number 1 seed, however, it was not without difficulty. A key match in determining several alliance captains was Qual's 18. Autonomous starts with 16 and 3937, both running multi-game piece autos that headed out to the line quickly. By the end of auto, they would score 4 notes between them, getting the alliance almost a quarter of the way to the Melody RP. At a minute 48 left to play, you see what looks to be the Blue Alliance strategy for the match. 3937 and 5454 will score quickly in the amp thanks to feeding them by 16. Then, with 125 left, you'll see the plan for amplification, as 16 joins their alliance partners across the field and just floods that speaker during amplification, using fed notes and quick steals from the source area. At 45 seconds left, you see this feed and bombard strategy once again come into play. This strategy is too much for the Red Alliance, and Blue would come away with a Melody RP and a win 79-23. The next match we'll take a look at is match 45, another match on determining quite a lot of seeding. In auto, we will see 3937 and 8044 both scoring quickly. Auto would end with 4 notes for Blue and a score of 26 points. At a minute 45 left to play, you will see the triple offense of the Blue Alliance immediately pay dividends. With almost simultaneous scoring from Breakaway and Den Venom, followed by several seconds later by 3616 Team Phenomenon. At 55 seconds remaining, you will see a slight change of the strategy as 3937 is cleaning up, scoring 3 of the 4 possible notes during the amplification period. With 10 seconds left, all 3 Blue robots go for a climb, and they almost all make it, but ultimately it would not matter, and Blue would also secure a 3 RP match and a win 105-52. The 2 above matches would result in a top 15 ranking for all members of the winning alliance. However, it would eventually be the number 1 alliance who would secure the entire tournament. Congratulations to 16, 3937 and their partner 6586 the Tuscan Raiders on their regional win. Congratulations are also in order to Team 9429 NEAC Tech Titans on their Rookie All-Star Award. 1781 Lindbaum Electric Eagles would take home the Engineering Inspiration Award, while 2341 Sprockets would secure the Impact. Many of these teams are going to be competing later on in Crescendo, and we look forward to seeing them again. But first, let's talk about an event that took place just one state over. The Smoky Mountain Regional took place in the Knoxville Civic Coliseum in Knoxville, Tennessee, with 33 teams representing Indiana, Alabama, Florida, Ohio, Tennessee, Kentucky, and New York. A few notable teams in attendance would be 234 Cyberblue, 1466 Web Robotics, 4020 Cybertribe, and 4265 the Secret City Wildbots. However, none of these teams would take the number 1 seed, all but guaranteeing their inability to pair together. The first key match we'll take a look at is the very last qualification match, number 61. The Red Alliance is made up of 801 Horsepower, 6517 Sono Robo, and 2783 the Engineers of Tomorrow, all fighting to get Alliance captainship. In auto, the Red Alliance would secure 5 notes, getting them over a quarter of the way to the Melody RP. It also become clear the Red Alliance is not worried about overall score, but are instead focused on throughput to get that RP. At 105 left, 6517 quickly scores in the speaker, and then 801 and 2783 score quickly after. You then see at 52 seconds left another quick double score from 6517 and 801. Then with 15 seconds left, we see the endgame strategy of Red with 65-17 climbing solo, while 801 and 2783 harmonize on another chain. This would result in a 4 RP match for Red, one of only 3 for the entire event, securing 801 number 1 seed, 65-17 number 3 seed, and 2783 number 5. We now fast forward all the way to finals. Finals 2 auto starts with Alliance 2 in red getting 4 notes, while overall in blue, Alliance 1 would score 5. This would be a 5-point advantage for blue. At 2 minutes 10 left in the match, 65-17 and 46-30 have a big hit going for the same note, and this appears to damage 65-17 as they would be unable to score the rest of the match. We now go to 145 left in the match as we see how blue plans to deal with the defense of 10-14. The smiley face robot cannot be in 2 places at once, and 801 and 40-20 utilize the corners of the subwoofer to score around the defender. We then move to 20 seconds left as 46-30 and 42-65 have contact on the Blue Alliance stage zone. Although no longer granting a ranking point, this does result in 2 tech fouls. Blue would have a double climb to 3 parks on red and a final score of 48-69 and a win for the number 1 seed. Congratulations to 801, 40-20, and 46-30 on their regional win. Congratulations are also in order to 96-68 West Robotics on their rookie all-star, Team 10-14 Bad Robots, who take home the double silver Kling Bling with finalist and Engineering Inspiration Award, while Team 74-28 the Gigawatts would secure the Impact Award. Many of these teams between Arkansas and Smoky will be competing this coming week at Magnolia and Tallahassee. We look forward to seeing them again so soon, as well as in the coming weeks of Crescendo.
36 teams came together in Sedalia, Missouri for the 2024 Central Missouri Regional. Some notable attendees at the event, you had Team 1706, 1987, 3928, 3931, 4522, 4646, and 4766. The first match I want to dive into is qualification match number 21. For the Red Alliance, you have 1982, 5013, and 4766 versus the Blue Alliance of 1706, 3928, and 2457. The Red Alliance had the lead coming out of auto with a score of 34-17 thanks to the combined efforts of 5013 and 4766, each scoring an additional note in auto and all 3 robots scoring their preloaded game piece. The Blue Alliance seemed to struggle a bit in autonomous, with 1706 missing several of their shots, and with about 2 seconds left in auto shooting a game piece from outside their wing, causing them to earn a technical foul. Throughout the match, both alliances continued to cycle quickly, with 1982 on the Red Alliance trying to slow down 1706 for Blue. With about 50 seconds left to go in the match, Team 3928 for the Blue Alliance begins to climb on stage, and about 7 seconds later, Team 4766 for the Red Alliance, while trying to go underneath the stage, slams into 3928, earning 2 technical fouls for the Red Alliance. And these 10 foul points represented the current difference in score, as the Red Alliance was leading 49-39 at the time. With about 20 seconds left in the match, both alliances begin to line up for their in-game climbs. The Red Alliance holds a slim lead of 55-53. Both alliances managed to spotlight a robot on stage, but it was the Blue Alliance that was able to get a trap score from 1706 and ultimately win the match by just 1 point, taking the victory 66-65. 1706 would then eventually go on to claim the number 1 overall seed by just 1 ranking point. Now I want to jump all the way to what would wind up being the first of 2 Finals 2 matches that were played. The final matches for this event featured the number 1 seed of Team 1706, the Ratchet Rockers, 4522 Team Scream, and 1982 Cougar Robotics in red, versus the 3 seed of Team 1987, the Broncobots, 4646 Wildcard Robotics, and Team 7662, the 3-Ring Circuits. Red Alliance took Finals 1 with a score of 92-77. This match featured one of the more unique robot designs from 7662, who middle of the way through the first day of qualification matches took off their arm and replaced it with a giant plastic kiddie pool. This match, both alliances managed to score 5 notes in autonomous, and we got to see some interesting auto routines from both alliances in contesting for those pre-stage game pieces out of the middle. It was in fact though the Blue Alliance that held a 2-point lead coming out of auto, as all 3 of their robots were able to leave the starting zone, while 1982 for the Red Alliance was not. It appeared that throughout the match, the defense of 7662 was able to slow down the Red Alliance by making them take more difficult shots by blocking the April tags, and do just enough to allow the Blue Alliance to take away the win by just 4 points. However, there was an error when the match was scored, and the trap score by the Red Alliance was not counted or scored before the match results were submitted. Because of the error was recognized after the results had already been submitted, this led to a field fault being declared and a replay of Finals Match 2. The Red Alliance would then go on to win the replay of Finals Match 2 with a score of 77-72. Congratulations to the winning alliance of 1706, 4522, and 1982. Also, big shout out to Regional Impact Award winners 4593 Rapid Acceleration and EI winners Team 3928 Team Neutrino. Moving on down south, you had the Green Country Regional. 43 teams gathered in Tulsa, Oklahoma for the 2024 Green Country Regional. Some notable attendees of the event, you had Team 118, 1561, 1730, 2352, 2996, 3284, 4329, 4499, 5484, 5889, and 6424. Jumping right into the first of two matches that I'm going to cover for the event, you have qualification match number 27. For the Red Alliance, you have teams 5550, 4293, and 2359 versus the Blue Alliance of 4499, 1730, and 3465. The Red Alliance held the lead coming out of Autonomous by just 1 point with a score of 24-23. Both alliances immediately score in their AMP and activate the co-op button thanks to the scores by 1730 for the Blue Alliance and 4293 for Red. Both alliances race back and forth, scoring notes in the amps and speakers, making use of those bonus points for amplified notes in the speaker. With about 50 seconds left to go in the match, the Blue Alliance holds only a 5-point lead with a score of 47-42, and Team 3465 of the Blue Alliance is already lined up at the stage ready to climb. But 1730 and 4499 are in the wings with a speaker that is ready to be amplified, and that each then score a quick shot in the now amplified speaker, earning their alliance 10 more points and widening their lead. Meanwhile, the Red Alliance is doing their best to try to keep up the pace, but seem to be falling behind. With about 20 seconds left to go in the match, Team 1730, with their strategically designed climber, lines up to climb with their partner 3465 for the Blue Alliance, and both robots manage to climb in harmony, and thanks to a climb by 4499 with about 5 seconds left to go in the match, the Blue Alliance was able to earn the ensemble rank point bonus. The Blue Alliance would ultimately win the match with a score of 72-52, and this led 1730 rank just above 5550, who was on the Red Alliance. Now jumping into the playoffs, we have round 4, match 12. You have the 5 seed in the Red Alliance of 4329, 2945, and 4523 versus the 4 seed alliance in Blue of 2036, 4499, and 3465. The 5 seed alliance actually had to call in Team 4523 as a backup robot for their original first round pick of 1561. It was the Red Alliance that held the lead coming out of Auto with a score of 17-6 thanks to 3 notes in the speaker, 2 from 4329 and 1 from 2945, while the Blue Alliance wasn't able to score any notes but did have all 3 robots leave the starting zone. The Red Alliance focused entirely on just shooting notes into their speaker, while the Blue Alliance focused on a more balanced approach of scoring in both the amp and the speaker. With about a minute left to go in teleop, the Blue Alliance is down 24-37, but thanks to the efforts of 4499 working on the amp and scoring an amplified note in their speaker, they were able to narrow that lead to just 8 points. Unfortunately, it appears that 2036 had some issues with their shooter and were unable to capitalize on the amplified speaker. Unfortunately for the Blue Alliance, their robot troubles didn't end there, as with about 50 seconds left to go in the match, you can see that 4499 starts moving but then starts having intermittent connection issues. Until the end of the match, it was the Red Alliance that managed to pull off the upset, winning the match 54-45. Congratulations to the winning alliance of 6424, 1730, 3179, and 8711, who defeated that number 5 alliance in finals with scores of 77-59 and 85-55. Also, congratulations to Regional Impact Award winners Team 4499 the Highlanders and Team 1730 Team Driven for their Gold Silver Kling Bling, winning the event and the Regional Engineering Inspiration Award.
This year, the First in Texas Belton event hosted a total of 42 teams. Purple was a very noteworthy color at this event, as 2 of the top 4 teams sported said color. 3847 Spectrum and 418 Purple Haze were very strong contenders, along with 5892 Energy Heroes and 5414 Paradox. During alliance selection, the first-ranked team, 3847 Spectrum, chose the 4th-ranked team, 5414 Paradox, to join their alliance. The second team, 3892, partnered with the 5th-ranked team, Super Rookie 9418 Pastabots. Match 12 with Alliance 5 versus Alliance 7 ended with a score of 55-44, with the 5th Alliance coming out on top. Although 6369 Mercenary Robotics was having some slight technical difficulties, they swiftly switched over to defense and never gave their opponents a rest. With 35 seconds left in the game and a score of 38-33, a major collision occurred on the red side of the field. 9121 Maverick's battery was knocked out of the robot, and the robot itself was pushed into the Blue Alliance source. This ultimately led to the match's outcome being swayed by 17 penalty points on the 7th Alliance. Just one match later, in match 13, we see Alliance 5 versus Alliance 2, ending with an upset as the 5th Alliance won with a score of 47-38. The difference came down to Autonomous, with the 5th Alliance scoring one more note than the 2nd Alliance. Between the Autonomous lead and the penalties in the 2nd Alliance, the 5th Alliance came out on top, sending them to the finals matches. In the finals matches between Alliance 5 and Alliance 1, led by 38-47 Spectrum, ended up on top. Congratulations to Alliance 5, teams 91-21 Mavericks, 63-69 Mercenary Robotics, and 55-03 Tigertrons for making their way to the finals, and to teams 38-47 Spectrum, 54-14 Paradox, and second-year team 90-54 Johnson City Jules for winning the 2024 Belton District event. Another huge congratulations to 94-18 Pastabots, who won Rookie All-Star, 25-83 Orange Dynamite, who won Engineering Inspiration, and 63-57 the Spring Constant, who won the Impact Award. We will see y'all at the First in Texas District Championship.
We are heading to the 2024 First in Texas Plano District event at Plano Senior High School in Plano, Texas. This is the third time we have had an event here. The last time we had an event here was in 2020, before the world shut down. It hurts. The teams that we were keeping an eye on was 2020 Plano District event winners and the All Black Everything 148 Robo Wranglers. Also keeping an eye on was 2023 Galileo Division Rookie All-Star Award and highest rookie seed, 91-28 Itcan Robotics. And also co-host team for the event, 54-31 Titan Robotics. This event was crazy with penalties. Out of all the matches, we had roughly 6 matches that had no penalties. Some of these matches were also decided by these penalties. Now, the number one ranked was bouncing back and forth between 148 and 91-28. But in the end, it went to 148, who picked 91-28 and 97-86 MHS Wolfpack, who, fun fact by the way, came to Plano with nothing. But 148 had their students come in and help them build a kit bot, and now they were picked by 148. The number 1 alliance would go through playoffs pretty easily until they reached match 11, which was a Alliance 1 versus Alliance 2 matchup. Alliance 2 was pretty stacked with 1296 Full Metal Jackets, 9752 Itcan Robotics Jr., and 9407 Heatwave Robotics. In auto, we saw 9128 and 9752 do the same 4-note auto as they have similar robots. It looked like you were looking at a mirror. At the end of auto, the score was 34-24 in favor of red, but right after auto, 9128 was trying to go through the middle of the field to go to their source zone, but a direct bumper-to-bumper hit with 1296 seemed to have left them dead on the field. 148 was now the only scoring machine as 9786 was playing defense. 148 tried to keep the lead, but by 15 seconds, it was 52-50 in favor of the second alliance. 148 was able to climb and place a note into the trap, which was enough to give them a push for Alliance 1 to win 59-57. Now, this wasn't the last time we were going to see these two fight. Finals was a 1v2 matchup. In Finals 1 during auto, both alliances scored 4 notes thanks to 128 and 9572's 4-note auto, but Blue Alliance had 1 robot leave in auto while Red had 2, giving Red the lead 29-27. For the rest of Teleup, it seemed pretty even, but at 25 seconds left of the match, 9407 died in the source zone, but with them being dead, they were blocking Red robots to pick up notes. But not only that, every time a Red robot touched 9407, it counts as a tech foul, which is 5 extra points towards the Red Alliance. At the end, the score was 125-63, thanks to 57 points for the penalties. That is 11 techs and 1 foul given to the Red Alliance. Without the penalties, Red Alliance would have still won, but it would have been only a 5-point difference. Now, in Finals 2, the auto was the same on both sides, except 148 got 1 extra note, giving the Red the lead 34-29. Right after auto, 9786 would lose comms to the field, so there was no defense for Blue to worry about. The match was still pretty even, but with 1 minute remaining, 9786 would come back, but got pushed into the Blue loading zone, and they got stuck there. But just like last match, when someone gets stuck in the loading zone, robots can't get notes, and tech fouls would start to be counted. At the end of Alliance At the end, Alliance 2 would win 124-63. Thanks to 70 points of penalties, which is 14 tech fouls. Without the penalties, Alliance 1 would have won. So, one thing to learn, don't die in the source zone. In the tiebreaker match, it was the most calmest out of the 3 finals matches. Auto ended in favor of Blue, plus a 5-point penalty for 148, crossing the center line and touching 1296, so the score was 34-24 at the end of Auto. The match would switch sides and go in favor of Red Alliance during tally-up. 97-52 also died with 50 seconds left in the match, so by the end of the match, Alliance 1 would still win 92-50. Congratulations to 1296 Full Metal Jackets, 9752 8-Can Robotics Jr., and 9407 Heatwave Robotics for being the 2024 First in Texas District Event finalists. Congratulations to 1296 Full Metal Jackets, 9752 8-Can Robotics Jr., and 9407 Heatwave Robotics for being the 2024 First in Texas Plano District Event finalists. Congratulations to 148 Robo Wranglers, 9128 8-Can Robotics, and 9786 MHS Wolfpack for being the 2024 First in Texas Plano District Event winners. For awards, congratulations to 9752 8-Can Robotics Jr. for winning the Rookie All-Star Award. Congratulations to 5417 Eagle Robotics for winning the District Engineering Inspiration Award. And congratulations to 4192 Jaguar Robotics for winning the District First Impact Award.
This week in NorCal, the San Francisco Regional played host to 43 teams from 2 states and 2 countries at St. Ignatius High School. Being the event with the highest average EPA so far in California, every team looking to take victory had to fight for every precious ranking point through quals. Among those teams are 5940 Bread, making their first appearance at San Francisco Regional since 2019, 971 Spartan Robotics, who have appeared at every running of this event since its introduction in 2017, and up-and-comers 8033 Highlander Robotics. Quals saw perennial contenders 114 Eagle Strike rank first in an event for the first time in at least 20 years, helped by the result in qualification match number 11, which is the first match I want to highlight for this event. Playing in blue would be 1700, 7245, and event favorites 5940, and they would be facing off against the Red Alliance of 114, 842, and 8033. Auto would go the way of blue, with Bread making all 5 of their attempted shots, as opposed to the Red Alliance only making 3 of their 7 attempted shots. At the start of tally-up, Blue leads 27-19, but at that point the Red Alliance would begin executing the strategy that would ultimately eliminate that deficit and then some. Only 10 seconds into tally-up, Blue has already placed 2 notes in the amp and are ready to amplify. 8033 cleans up the wing as 114 goes screaming back and forth to the source to grab another note. The last of 8033's shots gets amplified, and 114 joins in with 2 more 5-point shots to tie up the scores with 145 left in the match. In that same time, 5940 completed 4 full field cycles to place 1 in the amp and 3 in the speaker with no amplification. As the match progressed, that theme continued as Red made multiple series of amplified shots. Blue would make a similar amount of unamplified shots, made all the worse by some kind of failure on 1700's robot that prevented them from scoring in the amp for Blue. Fast forwarding to 20 seconds left in the match, Red is still cycling at a crazy rate as 5940 gets ready to climb. They raise their elevator and were contacted by 852 on the Red Alliance, triggering an unfortunately very common G424 penalty. This awarded Blue a ranking point alongside a slew of foul points as 5940's note finally fell into the trap about 3 seconds after the match had ended. Red would prevail 95-79. This match, alongside every other qual victory in their undefeated weekend, earned 114 the top spot come Alliance selection. They also showed how efficiently they could cycle despite heavy opposition. Jumping into playoffs now, and the second match I want to highlight is playoff match number 7. In red would be the number 1 alliance of 114, 5940, and 5507, and in blue would be the number 5 seed alliance of 971, their sister team 9584, and 2489. What made this match interesting was the fact that 3 tank drives would be facing off against a triple threat of modern swerve in playoffs, in what feels like a pretty rare sight these days. Blue would get off to a good start with 971 hitting 5 out of their 6 attempted shots in auto. However, Red would be the one to start Tally-Out with the lead as they made a massive 9 shots out of autonomous with perfect accuracy. Tally-Out began with a very interesting interaction between 971 and 114. With 971 being a tank drive, their forward speed was limited by the fact they had to turn just a little bit to reach a center line note. but 114 was able to get to it before them because they had Swerve, and Swerve does not have to change its forward speed in order to rotate. Similarly, with 148 left in the match, 95-84 would be stopped quite effectively by the Swerve defense of 55-07, further limiting the Blue Alliance's ability to score. There are also multiple midfield collisions that consequently stopped the tank drive robots in their tracks as the Swerve robots just spun off and kept on rolling. A few interesting displays of the current direction of FRC in this match, as the all Swerve Red Alliance would take this one 117-42 on their way to victory at this event. They would dominate both finals matches with scores of 111-72 and 101-65 respectively. Congratulations to the winners, teams 114 Eagle Strike getting a well-deserved third blue banner, 59-40 Bread, and team 55-07 Robotic Eagles picking up their first ever blue banner. Also up to champs are Impact winners, team 1700 Gate Robotics, EI winners 28-54 the Prototypes. Congratulations to those who qualified, and with that, on to Ventura. Going down to SoCal now for the Ventura Regional, where 48 teams took to the same field in the same venue as last week's Port Hueneme Regional at the Fathom Works Warehouse. Favorites heading in were 44-81 Team Rembrandts, who emerged victorious last weekend in Port Hueneme, 44-14 High Tide, who are looking to make up for an early exit from playoffs last weekend at the same event, and 115 MVRT coming down to SoCal for the first time since 2020. The first match I want to highlight at this event is Qualification 18, as it demonstrated a near flawless execution of what I feel is an underutilized strategy. Our performers this round would be 11-38, 50-12, and the reigning world champions 44-14 on red against the Blue Alliance of 47-38, 34-76, and 58-17, all of whom would end up ranking inside the top 8. Let's jump to the start of Teleop, where Blue leads 27-12 and the real madness commences. 44-14 shoot the note they picked up at the end of auto into their wing from midfield, and then proceed to do the same with 2 other notes in the middle of the field before finally going to make a shot in the speaker. At the same time, Blue attempts a couple shots with less than ideal accuracy, and 34-76 get a note into the trap while still on the ground. They extended as close as they legally could to the opening and shot a note in for 5 points. As Teleop plays out, 44-14 continues to feed their partners game pieces, allowing for very efficient scoring. Interestingly, both alliances would have identical teleops, with 5 notes in the amp, 7 unamplified speaker shots, and 4 amplified speaker shots apiece. Fast forward to 20 seconds left in the match, and High Tide just barely doesn't get their note in the trap, which allows Blue to take a slight lead in terms of endgame points. At the end of all of this, Red would win 70-60. What made this match stand out to me was the fact that the admittedly not the most accurate Statbotics prediction for this match put Red with just a 19% chance of victory. Despite facing those odds, the world champions High Tide and their partners walked away from this match with a W thanks to a clever and well-executed game piece feeding strategy. Victory in this match would be one of many this weekend that allowed for 44-14 to rank first and head into playoffs with a stellar alliance. This group would pull off something pretty special in our second highlighted match, playoff number 7. In red is our number 1 seed alliance of 44-14, 44-81, and 42-76, and in blue is the number 5 seed alliance of 58-17, 69-95, and 5-89. The match began with an incredible display as 44-81 beat 69-95 to centerline note 2 times in a row, allowing Red to take the lead with 49 points compared to Blue's respectable 31. Teleop kicked off with a callback to our first highlighted match as High Tide shot a note from midfield into their wing before quickly attempting to grab a note fumbled by 58-17. Unirex would come out on top in that direction though and drop it off inside the Blue Alliance wing. What follows for the rest of Teleop is a masterclass in triple offense cycling. To demonstrate how smooth it all was, Red made 16 shots into the speaker in Teleop, and all but 3 were amplified. Their opponents were no slouch either, putting up 13 shots, of which 5 were amplified. Jumping to 12 seconds left in the match, 589 goes up for Blue as their partners try and put a few more amplified shots and then go climb themselves. Meanwhile on red, 44-14 puts one in the trap as 44-81 climbs and 42-76 parks. After such a beautifully executed match, the Red Alliance walked away victorious 143-108. At the moment, this match is the current world record high score and was a telling display of the number 1 Alliance's dominance. This match would also be a preview for finals with Alliances 1 and 5 facing off once again in the best of 3 series. Number 1 would walk away victorious just like before with scores of 106 to 84 in match 1 and 126 to 82 in match number 2. Congratulations to the winners, 44-14 High Tide taking their first banner this year, 44-81 picking up 2024 banner number 2 for the Dutch squad, and 42-76 taking home their third blue banner. Also after champs are Impact winners Team 8 Pally Robotics, EI winners 589 Falcon Robotics, and Rookie All-Star winners 94-21 Carmel Robotics coming all the way from Hong Kong. And with that, there's your recap for this year's Ventura Regional. Let's see if anyone can break that world record next week.
At Auburn High School in Kent, Washington, the Auburn District event features many teams for the first time this year. 35 teams competed at this event, with standouts consisting of 3070, Team Pronto, 3663, Cedar Park Robotics Club, 1294, Pack of Parts, and 488, XBot. Many of these teams rised up as competitive teams for the first time this weekend. Early in the match schedule, in qualification match 4, we see a competitive matchup with the red side consisting of 3663, 9446, and 3070, while the blue lines is made up 1983, 9442, and 5588. In autonomous, both sides ran their autos. The red side, championed by 3070's 4-note auto, scored 6 notes, while the blue side scored 4. In the start of teleop, both teams scored about equally for the first few seconds of the match until around a minute and 48 seconds left. 5588 dies on the field, leaving the red alliance with a perfect window to continue scoring. But at a minute and 10 seconds left in the match, 5588 returns to cycle, but then 1983 Skunkworks turns to defend the red alliance, preventing 3663 from scoring for a solid 15 seconds. 3663 then resorts to scoring in the protected zone, but appears to be having trouble with shooting. This hinders the red alliance and allows the blue alliance to catch up. Both alliances turn to the stage and climb, ending the match in a close 69 to 56, leaving the red alliance victorious. Later in elimination matches, 3070 and 3663 create an alliance with 5295 and start off by having trouble in match 1. Facing the 8th alliance, the same alliance they will face against in finals. Alliance 8 starts off with a lead in autonomous, scoring 6 notes over the red alliance's close 5 notes. Both teams cycle closely but in teleop, but Alliance 8 holds a small lead till a minute and 50 seconds left, where they're all tied up. About a minute and 45 seconds left, there is some small traffic in the middle of the field that quickly gets cleared up. Shortly after this, the red alliance amplifies and shoots 2 notes into the speaker, which pulls them ahead and score. But in the last 50 seconds, the blue alliance has multiple notes on their side of the field and amplifies at the right time to catch up to Alliance 1. And in the last few seconds, Alliance 8 pulls ahead and wins 74 to 79, a match sending Alliance 1 to the lower bracket. Both these teams duke it out in the finals, leading to Alliance 1 victory. Congrats to 3070, 3663, and 5295 for winning this event. Also, congrats to 9023 for winning Engineering Inspiration and 4450 for winning Impact. Good luck to these teams proceeding to the Pacific Northwest District Championship, and now let's look south to the Oregon State Fairgrounds District event, where we see 27 teams competing, most of which are competing for the first time. This event is one of the most competitive events in the Pacific Northwest, with many competitive teams including 2046 Bare Metal featuring their trap mechanism, 2521 Sir, a competitive and efficient cycler, and 2471 Team Mean Machine with an incredibly short bot, and 3674 Clover Bots returning from Clackamas last weekend. In qualification match 15, the red side of the field is populated by 2046, 749, and 2521, 2 of the powerhouse teams at this event. On the blue side of the field, 955, 1540, and 3712 are their competitors. Right off the bat, the Red Alliance picks up every note off the field as 2046 and 2521 run their autos. While missing 5 notes, this one is one of the first times at this event where all notes were cleared. On the blue side of the field, 1540 puts up 4 notes while 955 puts up 1. At the start of teleop, both of these powerhouse teams start off scoring the missed notes in auto. 2046 starts off by scoring in the amp while 2521 starts on the speaker. As all teams continue to cycle across the field, at around a minute and 48 seconds left, 2046 rams into 955 on the red subwoofer, leaving 955 with a damaged intake for the remainder of the match, leaving them to pick up from the subwoofer for the rest of the match. At this point, the Red Alliance starts to gain a massive lead against the Blue Alliance, gaining a 20-point lead right off the bat. At around 45 seconds remaining, we see 3712 has stopped moving in the center of the field, and 955 is resorting to get points on the stage as their intake drags across the ground. At this point, the Red Alliance achieves a melody and focuses their efforts on climbing. At about 20 seconds left in the match, 2046 starts the climb with a note in hand ready to score the trap. 2046 scores on the trap, but is not on stage, leaving 749 the only bot in the air on the red side while their team members are parked. This leaves the Red Alliance with a victory. In the finals, the first alliance consisted of the powerhouse teams 2521 and 2046 were allied with 3712 and went undefeated through the semifinals into the finals. In the last final, they got 4 notes in auto, while the Blue Alliance ran an auto to mess up those notes in the center. But this isn't stopping Alliance 1 from cycling without any trouble. They maintain a relatively close score until around the 50-second mark, when Alliance 1 pulls through with a 10-second lead. They maintain this lead until the very end, when 2521 climbs last second, sealing their victory. Congrats to 2521, 2046, and 3712 for winning this event. Also, congrats to 2521 for winning Engineering Inspiration and 4125 for winning Impact. Congrats to all these teams proceeding to their second event and to the District Championship next weekend.
Well, that about does it for FRC Recap Week number 2. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and checking out all the different events that we had coverage on as well. Let us know in the comments, by the way. There's always things that we missed, didn't quite catch, or that you might have felt a little bit differently on, so post that in the YouTube comments. We hope that you'll join us for all of our other fun shows that we have. Don't forget, we do have our forecast show that comes out on Wednesdays, and we'll be back with FRC Recap with a lot of events coming up in week number 3 next Tuesday as well, too. So thanks, everybody, for listening and tuning in, and good luck to all teams competing in week number 3. This video on fun is brought to you by viewers like you and also in partnership with the following. AndyMark is your one-stop shop for all your robotics competition needs. Celebrating 20 years of quality robotics parts and superior service, AndyMark employees have over 200 years of first-team experience. From mechanical and electrical products to tools and hardware, head on over to andymark.com for high-quality and affordable solutions.